Diablo 4's expansion has been out for about 3 weeks now, and I've been farting around the endgame on my homebrewed Druid build. I'm actually pleasantly surprised by this expansion and how my build has been performing in it. I want to share a quick overview of my build and how I've been blasting through Torment 12 with my companion Druid. This build also still has tons of upgrades possible, so the ceiling for it is quite high. And real quick, I am a very new channel.
Ooh, that's kind of small.
So any subscribers super helps me out, so if you're enjoying the content, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. First off, let's just start with my skill tree. So being companion druid, I really love the new expansion because you don't have to take any of the earlier stuff. You can all in on basically your build. You don't have to do any of the prerequisite points. So basically my points start at defensive skills, and you'll see that I'm actually running 2 defensive skills on my bar with Roar and Cyclone, but I'm actually using all four of the defensive skills are being used right now. So firstly, Earthen Bulwark, that's gonna give us basically doubling our life because it's giving us barrier on top of our life, so that's tons of super good defenses. It auto regens itself, it lasts for 12 seconds, and it's giving us stacks of Overpower, which Overpower is increasing our damage by 15% per stack. So just casting this gives us tons of defenses and 30% increased damage, so that's just broken. We also are auto casting that with our rune setup in my gear because I'm avoid taking health damage because I am fortified and gonna be having barrier. As long as they don't hit my health, I'm just automatically casting that, which is gonna keep me at max stacks of Overpower and my barrier up. So it's just super OP ability, especially with that rune setup. Then we got Cyclone Armor. Cyclone Armor is really broken because it just gives you passive resistances to everything. The all res you get is kind of nutty. Bloodhowl is really broken. It's giving you Berserking, which is going to increase your damage by 25%. It's also 10% increased damage to other players, and also it's kind of like a defensive thing because you're healing. You heal for 1% of max life each time you hit an enemy, so kind of like life on hit. You're giving yourself life on hit. And then I'm running Unique Amulet, which auto casts Bloodhowl and gives you bonus damage every time it's active. So both of these defensive abilities so far are giving us defenses, tons of utility, and tons of offense and movement speed. Just super efficient good abilities, these three. Then I'm running Debilitating Roar. It reduces enemies damage dealt, which is really broken because that's gonna really help modify all the defenses that we have, just making the enemy do less damage overall, and gives us 30% bonus life. But then the real kicker is you combine it with these unique gloves that gives us 80% damage while it's going. Our uptime is almost 100% too because it lasts for 17 seconds, but the cooldown's only 18 seconds, so that's why I've pumped a lot of points in this. We almost have 100% uptime on nearby enemies, damage being reduced, and my damage being buffed. So that's just like a super efficient ability again. Then on the companion side of things, I started out with a bunch of points in Ravens and Creeper, but as it turns out, they're kind of just utility. I really tried to go on damage, but the main damage is your wolves. So they're kind of nutty. It doesn't show it all here because I have items giving me all these extra passives. So let's just look at it here. So we have tags on them. So they're Nature Magic, Storm, Werewolf, and Companion. So we're really trying to do Nature Magic to get that up to 32. We are going to get more skill points in it eventually, but they basically just teleport around and murder shit. They are super strong. The whole reason the build even works. If they ever get crowd controlled, they get 100% bonus damage. They stun when they arrive, so CC modifiers and all that kind of jazz is really good. And when they critically strike, you get more attack speed, which is kind of good for this build overall because it's a minion build and your attack speed goes to your minions, so then they attack faster. So yeah, this is the main damage ability of my my entire build here. That's why we scale lightning damage. We can scale companion damage, crit damage, because they're gonna crit and they're gonna do a ton of, and the active really chunks bosses. So sometimes it feels like this build is not the best at clearing tons of chaff, but against elites, it's really good. Creeper is giving us basically an AoE poison. The AoE poison activates some of my damage passives for if people are poisoned. Also, it's giving me just passive fortify. It's also helping me stack one of my legendary passives. That's why I have 2 companion skills, because I have a passive that the more companion skills I cast, I get more damage. So that's why we still want to keep Poison Creeper on the bar. We did have to kick Ravens off the bar though, because we just needed a few other skills. Ravens though is just giving us tons more companions. As you see, some in 8 ravens to fly above you. That really matters because we have modifiers that can increase our damage based on how many companions we have. Even those guys aren't doing a ton of damage, they're just increasing our damage overall based on that. We're also getting all these for free, so they're gonna make people vulnerable. They're gonna grant stacks of resolve, which is huge actually. So this is my main way of getting resolve. And then yeah, you just get 2 additional ravens. So coming on down, the only wrath skill I'm running is trample, just because you can take a thing that makes it a jump. So that's my main movement ability. And then in ultimates, I was running a form with Grizzly Rage with a 1 and offhander. The Grizzly, it's really hard to keep this always up. It is really nice because you can get up to 200% damage, but I'm running Petrify because I'm a crit build, so increasing my damage by 63%, bonus critical strike against enemies is just huge. And it gives me back stacks of Fortify, which is gonna, I have lots of damage modifiers off Fortify. That's basically the skill tree there. And yeah, these 2 abilities we actually don't even have on my bar because they're being auto casted. That's really efficient for the build. Same with Ravens. Ravens are just auto going. So, and then let's go look at the Paragon. The glyphs that I'm running. We're running Fulminate. That's just going to increase our damage, our lightning damage, which is just big good because we have our wolves. Our main damage is lightning damage. Increasing our damage while fortified, and then also damage reduction while fortified is just really nice, really efficient. More damage in werewolf form and damage reduction. I love it. Just tons. Huge companion damage, just buffs to damage overall. So like if you're running a companion build, I think you just have to go wilds. Now I'm also just running crit strike damage because this modifier is just so huge, it's hard not to run it. Looking at the nodes, I slapped in Undaunted in here, just grabbed, you know, some standard of those. The first legendary node I went for is this. This is kind of one of the main components of the build is need to make sure that I am casting a companion skill every 10 seconds. That way I can keep this stacks up because up to 80% damage is actually crazy, and it's X. It looks like it's multiplicative. Being always able to spam my abilities, my companion abilities is really core. I'll show you how I'm spamming my companion abilities. It's actually one of my spirit boons. It's in the Druid passage, which is really broken. It's like the spirit boons are usually kind of crap, but they actually enable this build, which is really fun. And then in this area, this is where we have my werewolf glyph. It's really efficient on that one. And then we grab a little bit of lucky hit chance. You'll see why in the spirit boons in just a second why we need some lucky hit chance in the build. Slap in fulminate, and then we're gonna grab the thunderstruck passive, just more damage for my wolves. Some more crit strike chance. Crit strike chance getting 5% up here is actually huge. That's a really cool node up there. Next one, we got crit strikes with wolf skills do 70% increased damage. Wolves are a werewolf skill because of that tag. So yeah, that node is actually really huge. Yeah, and here we got wilds. So this is where we have wilds. We make sure we get all the companion damage we can. 360%. That's really nice. This is where we have our crit strike damage. That's a lot. We might be able to get it better if we put it in different places and if I really efficient-sized it. But this is just kind of my rough shot homemade build. It probably could be more efficient, but I think that's quite a bit of crit strike damage that we got rocking out of that guy. Down here, just raw damage against poisoned enemies. It's also given us so that my nature magic skills have a chance to poison enemies. Also, my blood howl is causing my damage to poison on hit. So even though you don't see the poison damage because I'm not teching into poison damage modifier, my poison damage that I'm doing is just to proc this. I'm not actually trying to do poison damage. It's just kind of like an extra thing that anytime anything is poisoned, I'm doing a ton of extra damage. And that's basically the Paragon tree. So spirit boons, this is actually kind of really huge for my build. So the first one, taking reduced damage from elites, just damage res in general is actually just really nice. So 5% extra crit strike chance and extra lucky hit chance is huge for the build. Just more damage, increased critical strike damage, like these two synergized together. Like those are such good boons. Oh, this is the huge thing. This is the thing that enables my entire build is a lucky hit. Critical strikes has up to a 15% chance to reset the cooldowns on my companion skills. So that's a lucky hit tag. So not only do I need my minions to be lucky hitting, so even if my minions are lucky hitting 100% of the time, they still need to crit. And then even when they crit, it's only a 15% chance to reset the cooldowns of my companion skills. So even if I had 100% crit and 100% lucky hit, that's still only a 15% chance to reset the companion skill. So that's why it's really necessary to get as much lucky hit chance as we can. And I'm actually even running this passive where I get basically max lucky hit chance against bosses. If I can just spam my wolf ability, my Q, on bosses over and over, it's just gonna like murder them. This is gonna help keep my stacks of my Paragon thing. Granting a companion, casting companion gives more damage. Yeah, this boon just basically enables the entire build. It is super important. Without it, the build literally would not work. Like it just wouldn't function. And then I'm running this one, Nature Magic. This is just basically anytime my wolves hit, they have a chance to reset the cooldown on my ult, which is Petrified, which it by itself already has a pretty low cooldown. So doing this allows me to spam this a little bit more than I would. Definitely does not have 100% upkeep time though. So I mostly just use this for elites and bosses, and it's almost always up for every elite and boss. It's now getting to the gear. The gear, big important part. So you'll notice right away when I show you some of this gear that I am definitely not perfect. I'm basically just clearing Torment 12. I'm doing the bosses and stuff, but I'm by no means done with this build. There's still so many upgrades, and the first thing you'll notice is on my weapon. It's really nice because I did hit high crit strike multiplier, I hit crit strike damage, but I mean, it's just a 2-star weapon. The main problem is did not hit gem modified damage. That is the main thing that everyone wants on a weapon, is just gem damage or gem efficiency. So my lightning damage down there would be super high. I definitely need to reroll for a better weapon. As soon as I get that, my damage is going to go astronomical. Just been trying to make a few weapons and have not gotten one yet, but pretty impressed. The build still just smashes T12 without that, so it does not really need that. I just need that to push higher on the pit, get my glyphs up, which as you saw, my glyphs are around like 110, 115, so definitely need to do a lot more leveling on the glyphs as well. This is basically just like an entry-level endgame build. Going with my jewelry, we're running the unique. I've farmed so many of these uniques, but apparently I just need to farm a lot more. Kind of hard because I really need crit strike damage and crit strike multi. So an actually build with kind of low multi, and it's not even an ancestral. Like the only ancestrals I've got have been complete Dooku, Pipi, Kaka. So still need to farm a better one of these, but I just really love the consistency of having my Blood Howl cast and also not having to have it on my bar and having all those extra bonuses while I'm running around. I really like that. Got a really good ring here actually. This is probably one of my best pieces of gear. It's got willpower, crit strike chance, modded crit strike multi, modded vuln damage, and it came with +4 skills when I transmogged it. So actually pretty decent piece of gear. 75% crit strike damage, decent, just helping out on. This is one of the core parts of the build. So companion skills deal you gain one additional companion and you deal 43% increased bonus damage. That passive is huge. I didn't talk about too much, but this legendary passive here is the main thing that drives the damage in the build. Is all of my skills deal an additional 25% damage per companion I have. So that's why I'm stacking all the extra companions. That's why I have a lot of modifiers like this. Even my charms are going to give me an extra companion as well. That's why you see I have so many boys here, so many. We're just going for crit strike chance, crit strike multi. This has got a couple of defensive mods, so I'm really tanky. I really need to reroll both this and this to get those defensive mods off there and have full damage mods, and then my damage is going to feel even more smooth in the end game. Pants, I'm running Storm's Companion, basically giving my wolves a free 100% increased damage. Having that on a pants slot is really huge. And then I also just got a really good pair of these. They got just overall pretty solid stats, nothing starred besides the temper, but pretty good. Boots, for running boots, it just makes it so my storm skills makes everyone vulnerable. That's really nice because my ravens don't always hit everything fast enough, so that just means that the wolves, whatever they're hitting, they are making vulnerable for themselves. My gloves I talked about earlier, they're not only giving me good damage, but they're giving me reses because now I can use debilitating roar as a werewolf and still keep my werewolf damage as well. I didn't talk about it too much at all until now, but the druid's different forms, werewolf gives attack speed and movement speed, whereas like bear form gives health and damage reduction. Health and damage reduction is really nice, but that's only really needed when you're pushing like pit and stuff like that. Right now I'm just in a situation where I just need to speed run like nightmare dungeons. I need to speed run like Helltide and stuff like that. So I'm really prioritizing speed and movement speed, and also attack speed is really nice for my minions. So to me the werewolf form just seemed like more offensive, and also comes with cool perks like this where I can turn defensive abilities into offensive. So that's why I've been going with werewolf over bear, although bear does sound a little bit better for like high tier pushing and stuff like that. For a chest piece, I actually have a pretty nice Tyrael's with damage reduction on it. I transmogged it and it gave it the start damage reduction. It was just a normal Tyrael's before. He's running this for just that really high resol and damage reduction. And then Air of Perdition is huge, super important. You need that 25% crit strike chance and lucky hit chance. We are a crit striking, lucky hitting build, so like those are just crazy stats on a helmet. And then the 80% damage is just, that's amazing too. And of course, I got indestructible on it. That's just perfect for a starred crit strike chance. Definitely need to farm a better one of these. So as you can see, my gear is actually, it's good, but it's mid compared to like someone who's optimized. There's still a huge ceiling for this build. I can get more damage on my gloves, get more damage on my necklace, more damage on my ring, let alone to like up those modifiers on them. Get more transmog some stuff on my helmet, get the extra damage stuff for gems on this. Like there's just a lot to be done. And then also my charms. My charms are actually pretty decent, but they can be improved upon. I did get lucky. I got to seal the diamond mine. So I am running 2 set bonuses right now. This might be hard for some people to achieve because they don't have this, but the main thing is you really need to keep this at 5 set. Because the Nephane's Bestiary. Nephane's Bestiary is also a key part of the build. It summons the Bear Companion. That's like a completely extra companion you normally can't have. It enables the build as well. It's increasing all the damage of all my other companions by 60% when it roars. It's got a 5-second downtime. These bears absorb 30% of my damage, and this final set is giving you 1 additional companion of each type. That's really huge because we have that modifier on this, so that 1 extra companion, we have 4 different types of companions, right? We have bears, we have wolves, we have poison creepers, and we have ravens. So that's an extra 4 times 20. That's an extra 100% damage just in that final passive there. That's also all those extra minions doing damage. Like that's an extra wolf doing damage, just an extra bear, and all that other stuff doing things. So that's just really huge. And then I'm running, since my wolf skills are werewolves, I'm making it so that my werewolf skills deal bonus damage to marked enemies. So this is really good for bosses and elites. You'll just randomly mark them. And then getting the bonus attack speed and move speed is really nice just because I'm not really teching any attack speed and the minions do benefit a little bit from it. And then the 3 set, because I have the purple gem, it's just so much, just so good damage reduction. I am gaining 20% damage reduction and healing for 70% of any damage taken over 3 seconds. So like the only way I really die is if I get 1 shot, because I'm constantly casting something that gives me life on hit. I have basically permanent 1% life on hit and all my stuff. And then I have this going. So the only thing that really kills me right now are 1 shots, which is just kind of standard Diablo play. And I'm teching, you'll see nature magic skills on all these because they share the passive with wolves, cyclone armor. So nature magic skills are giving me more damage, more resistances, and more damage. That's basically the build. So let's go show it off real quick. Okay, and as you can see, we arrive and we're on T10 and things are basically instantly dying. It's how long it takes my minions to actually like hit them, and then they just fucking get 1 shot basically. Sometimes some of these blues are a little bit stubborn, but yeah, see, it's just as soon as my minions actually hit them, they just kind of get 1 shot. And as you can see, we're just kind of zooming around here. I'm not really using my ult. I really need to time up my ult a little bit better. Oh, we have someone else here with me. But yeah, as you can see, you actually just kind of run around and things just kind of die around here. So, let's see, is there a boss around here that I could show you the boss damage? It's actually pretty good. Oh, this guy's just doing the Storm Druid build, damn it. You know, he's doing the boss right now, so I can't really show this off. Just people out here just running it. And then that's the nice thing. Yeah, see, you get the dash.